On this episode of another Very Kooky Countdown, it's time to measure up and find the biggest, longest, kookiest, rolliest, bubbliest, most amazing records ever recorded. Oh, and of course, there's Elvis. Welcome to another episode of another Very Kooky Countdown. And today the countdown is on for the kookiest record attempts ever. At position 10, it's over to Vietnam to acknowledge the champion effort of Tran Van Hey, who, when he died in 2010, had the longest hair in the world, a staggering 6.8 metres long. Although it was never officially measured and recognised by the Guinness Book of Records, Van Hey's incredibly long locks had not made an appearance at a hairdressing salon in more than 50 years. At the age of 25, Van Hey had a bad experience while getting his hair cut and declared he would never do it again. He only washed his hair a few times in his life. The last time, 11 years prior to his death. Phew! Hats off to Tran Van Hey. In the world of records, there's no greater record breaker than this guy, New Yorker Ashrita Furman. He holds our number 9 spot today. For this record, Furman was really on a roll, smashing the Guinness record for rolling an orange 1 mile with his nose. The unlikely venue, Terminal 4 at JFK International Airport. Furman already has 21 Guinness World Records to his name, but was keen to get the ball rolling, orange rolling for this one.
It's down to 29 minutes for the mile, and it's actually very fast. It's a very intense record. And so it's a challenge to me, even though it's silly, and hopefully it'll work out.
The record attempt was to roll an orange over a distance of 1 mile across the glossy, flat floors of the airport in less than 29 minutes. The orange was ready, Furman's nose was ready. It was time to go and break a record, and hopefully not a nose. The first task was to find the fastest and straightest rolling orange, which in this case turned out to be a green one. This was all okay with the Guinness records. As long as it grew on an orange tree, it was an orange. While you're thinking, hey, I could do this and get a record, it's not as easy as it looks. Everyone seemed to be on Furman's side, including the airport chaplain, Reverend James Devine, who blessed Furman and his orange. Lots of amused spectators watched as Furman began his world record attempt, bashing the orange with his nose along the airport floor. The runway Furman had chose was 1/6 of a mile, so he and his piece of fruit had to make the trip back and forth 6 times to break the record. After just 24 minutes and 34 seconds, the orange and then Furman entered the record books by smashing the old record by over 3 minutes. It was the orange's first time in the record books, but for Furman, would you believe, this was the 87th time. Furman explained the complexities in achieving this record. Ashrita, there's no need to try and justify this silly orange rolling record. Just smile and tell us how hard it really was.
Well, it's actually like really physically very, very demanding. But besides that, it's also a lot of its technique. Like, you know, being able to smack the orange so you get the greatest amount of distance. And so that took me a while. I mean, people, of course, thought I was crazy at the track practicing my technique, you know, with an orange. But it really helps, you know, that's... So again, it's a silly thing, but there's a lot that goes into it.
After the new record was set and Furman breathed a sigh of relief, Reverend Devine offered these kind words.
It's an accomplishment, and you know, it was a goal in his life. We all have different goals in our lives, and he accomplished this one, and I congratulate him on that.
With all the excitement of realising his new orange rolling record, Furman couldn't help but show us his technique for his next record attempt. The fastest mile hopping on 1 leg. Our number 8 spot on this another Very Kooky Countdown, Record Breakers, goes to a South African man who popped out of a 3 by 2.3 metre tank. Wow, what a record, you say? A 3 by 2.3 metre tank, huh? Impressive. Well, the record really was that he spent 10 days underwater before he came to the surface. Now that's impressive. Hundreds of shoppers watched on and waited for Tim Yarrow to submerge from the murky waters of his temporary fishy home in the Johannesburg shopping mall. Let's not go there on how the tank got so murky. The 30-year-old spent 240 hours underwater to break the previous record of 212 hours set in 1986. During the entire stunt, Yarrow was unable to surface and had to breathe using only his scuba gear. He was fed a low-fibre liquid diet through a special tube, and using the bathroom wasn't an issue. It was liquid in and liquid out. Ugh. The water temperature in the tank was a tropical 30 to 40 degrees Celsius to prevent loss of body heat. Each day, a doctor went down to check on our record breaker, armed with his stethoscope, thermometer and a face mask. Yarrow didn't sleep much in the first few days of this epic adventure, all because of a loose-fitting face mask. It's always the little things, isn't it? He eventually rose from the waters to a huge round of applause from the onlookers and the paramedics standing close by. This young girl hiding behind the sign sure picked Tim to break the record.
I didn't expect all this at all. When we initially had the idea of going the record, first thought about it about 7 months ago, and it was just a bit of a harebrained scheme up in the office one day, and then for everything to come together and get in the tank, and there were a fair few people around, but then to see all the support and everything that's come out.
Tim's hands were a little worse for wear.
Not in a hurry, no. We'd have to wait and see. If someone else breaks my record, fair play to them. I think that's a pretty fair gauntlet thrown down now. I think the last record has been standing since '86, and I think anyone that manages to break that will be they're going some.
This was backed up by the team manager.
Setting the world record, the current the world record was 212 hours, and Tim did 240 hours. So the initial world record was just under 9 days, and Tim has gone and he's broken 10 days.
And like most record breakers and champions of our TV series, another Very Kooky Countdown, Yarrow was taken from the venue in an ambulance, surrounded by a bunch of crazy onlookers just trying to get a glimpse of someone so loopy to spend 10 days in a fish tank. On ya, Tim. Still to come, more kooky records broken before your eyes on another Very Kooky Countdown. Welcome back to another Very Kooky Countdown, where record number 7 is for the longest banner in India. That doesn't look that long. Ouch! Did you have to use thumbtacks for that? Produced by the South Indian Education Society, hundreds gathered in Mumbai to officially unfurl the longest single banner ever produced. The 8.5-kilometre banner created a world record, with social messages written by Indian leaders in 14 different languages. The banner, which was produced as part of the Golden Jubilee of Independence, took hundreds of people to erect across the massive span. It was a well-coordinated event that was run by the South Indian Education Society, who are regarded for creating larger-than-life events like this one. It was a party-like atmosphere as the banner kept coming and coming. The Society provides quality education to students in Mumbai, from kindergarten through to postgraduate level. And events like this help draw attention to their cause. Across land and water, the record-breaking banner was measured with people holding markers at the kilometre points. There was another record on offer for anyone who wanted to read all the messages. but there weren't any takers. The organisers behind this record were also involved in the creation of a human chain, which extended for a record-breaking length of 26.5 kilometres. When it was official and the record broken, it was time to break into song. As these two showed, the victory song was sung with much gusto. Congratulations, people! Keep on dancing! At number 6 on our countdown, meet Balamurali Abati, the world's youngest doctor, who graduated from medical school at the ripe old age of 17.
Current New York state law requires a person to be 21 before they can practice medicine. A bill has been passed by the Assembly and is pending in the Senate to make an exception for me.
Balamurali's brother is also a doctor, and the pair wrote a book together on AIDS.
I'm 6 feet tall, so most of my patients don't know when they first meet me how old I am. When they do find out over the grapevine or whatever, they've known me for some time, I've known them, so we have a personal relationship, and they don't have a problem with that. They're surprised, but they're not upset. They're generally happy.
Balamurali's father, who's also a doctor, had a tough time convincing educators to allow his son to study the subjects of his choice at an early age, knowing his son was a child prodigy.
First pray God that you'll have a good life. Then both my children will do some extraordinary work, a kind of breakthrough in medicine, and see that they can get a Nobel Prize.
Certainly, I can't help but feel a little bit gifted, but I think I'm on par. They're colleagues. The other students in my class, they treat me as one of their own, and I treat them as equals to me. We're all colleagues. We help each other out.
Kooky, yes. Clever and very extraordinary. A big yes to that. As we continue this episode of another Very Kooky Countdown, it's over to New York City for record number 5. What's going on here? Okay, here's a group of people just standing around, waiting for the bus maybe? Waiting? What's this? Wow, a giant bubble! This is Vietnamese bubble artist Phan Yang, who succeeded in both breaking and creating a new record for a giant bubble. Phan already has 12 other Guinness World Records, but this attempt created a bubble with 13 chambers, large enough to hold 34 people inside. Yang broke and created the record on just his second attempt.
I did on the second, because the second attempt the bubble lasts longer, and from my side I saw that the entire system was intact, so there were nowhere bubble there was nowhere gap. So the second attempt is the official record. Yeah, and this we will be sending to the Guinness World Records for the approval.
A bubble like this isn't made with ordinary soap. Yang uses a special mixture.
Yes, I actually have 12 different kind of bubble mixture to create bubble tricks and elements. They are based by the viscosity and density. Some of them are more elastic, some of them are more light, so depend what I'm doing. So for the Guinness World Record, I'm using a special liquid solution which is very elastic.
When the bubble was complete, it had a total surface area of 327 metres. Phan Yang has earned acclaim worldwide for his complex displays of bubble theatre, where he creates his own bubble solution formulas and equipment to create these amazing bubbles. When he's not breaking world records, you can find him performing. The Gazillion Bubble Show is billed as the only interactive stage production of its kind. Full of special light effects, lasers and jaw-dropping bubble artistry, this show enjoyed a successful run in Las Vegas. This record attempt was caught on video and has been sent to Guinness World Records for official clarification. Step 1, step 2, 3, 4. Ladies, yeah, fellas, you too. Put your hands in the air. Yeah, that's it. Work it, move it, move it. Our Kooky Countdown continues in Singapore with a workout for the masses. Called the Great Singapore Workout, organisers came up with a 15-minute routine to help Singaporeans iron out the kinks and clunks before their workday began. This launch heralded the start of the fitness campaign, where 26,107 participants stretched and jumped right into the record books for the largest mass aerobic session, held at one location. The message here was loud and clear. Exercise is necessary for a healthy lifestyle. Organisers were all about promoting the healthy message.
We organized this healthy lifestyle campaign precisely to do that, to remind people to live healthy lifestyles. This includes, on a physical sense, healthy diet, exercise, no smoking.
The workout was promoted around the country and is designed to be a safe and healthy program for anyone aged 7 to 70.
I think we gathered here close to or over 100,000 people. Our goal was to smash the record of Guinness, which was 38,000 plus, held by Mexico City.
Obviously, this participant was a little out with his numbers. Maybe he was just a little worked up for the event. Coming up, Mighty Mouth and a couple of musical records. Do you ever have those days when you feel you just can't get a word in edgeways? That never happened to this guy.
Almost as soon as I could talk, I was always one of these kids that would consistently rabbit on about nothing. In fact, I could talk very fast about anything, and throughout the rest of my life I had to consciously and slowly slow myself down, otherwise people would say, slow down, I can't understand a word of what you're saying.
Steve has another accolade, position number 3 on this Another Very Kooky Countdown. He also has the current world record for talking fast, 637 words per minute.
I put it down to the fact that when most people are reading, there's a little voice inside your head which tells you what you're actually saying. You can hear it go along. Well, I have the ability to actually switch that voice off and take any information in through my eyes and come straight out through my mouth, so I can speak without thinking.
Apart from claiming the record for the world's fastest talker, Steve says the talent hasn't been good for much else.
My sleep was over in the heart, there's natural sufficient conservation development, which I see around to new others, rather bad, those we had in the Friday, I know what else conscious made to make counts of full and thus make you resolution.
Most people speak about 60 words per minute, which is about a word a second. Some people, when they get excited, can get up to 120 to 150 words per minute. But 637 words per minute is totally kooky. That's 10.25 words per second. Steve first broke the record for fastest talking back in 1990 and has broken it since 5 times. During that time, he lost his record for 3 days to a woman who spoke faster than he could. It didn't take long for him to out-talk her, claiming his record back and also dispelling that old myth that women talk faster than men. At number 2 on this week's Another Kooky Countdown, watch 549 musicians playing for the title of the world's biggest mariachi band. Here in the Mexican state of Jalisco, this big band was entered into the Guinness Book of World Records for playing continuously for 10 minutes. The record keepers were happy to dance along and write this number into the record books. Some other numbers the band performed were traditional mariachi favourites, Cholito Lindo and Guadalajara. Although mariachis are hired to play at events such as weddings and other formal occasions, they are often used to serenade women, because many of the songs in a typical repertoire have as a theme the desire to touch the heart of a woman. Ladies, look out for this lot. Mexicans love their record attempts. Apart from this attempt, Mexicans have also recently broken a Michael Jackson Thriller dance record, with thousands dancing in the streets. They can also boast the recent world's biggest cheesecake and biggest group kiss records. This attempt had its moments, but they made it in the end. We suffered a little bit, but we completed the goal a few minutes before the closure of the registration process. But we made it. I'm very happy and satisfied that we've made it, and that the record is where it belongs for the very first time, in Jalisco State. The record was broken here in Guadalajara, the birthplace of the distinctive mariachi music style, and Guinness World Records were there to capture it. Here, Stuart Claxton makes the official announcement.
The new Guinness World Record for the largest mariachi band is now 549 here in the city of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico.
The old record belonged to 520 mariachis who performed in San Antonio, Texas in 2007. Congratulations! Whoa, watch out for the fireworks. Now, which of the 549 walls to hang this award on? And to our #1 record in this Another Very Kooky Countdown, and there is no bigger star to salute than the King, Elvis. London, yes, London was the venue, not Las Vegas, for a new Guinness World Record attempt.
Well, we're going to try and make the world record of number of Elvises singing Viva Las Vegas at the same time. We're going to aim for 100 Elvises. Yeah. And to have it done in London is great because these things are normally kept to the States. You know, they always set the records themselves. But we're doing it here in Selfridges in London today. It could be a great honour to take part in it.
The event was organised to commemorate what would have been the singer's 70th birthday. For those that don't know, Elvis Presley was known as the King of Rock and Roll. He was one of the most important figures in 20th century pop culture. That figure at times larger than life. Hey look, some might think it's Christmas with the arrival of these three kings. Elvis holds his own record as the biggest selling recording artist ever, having sold more than 1 billion records and CDs worldwide since 1954. The King also appeared live 837 times in Las Vegas alone. Well, I'm sure he wasn't alone. He had his band with him. 3, 2, 1, go boys. Even though Elvis died more than 27 years ago, this event proved that his legacy still lives on with people of all ages. Though most Elvis impersonators know all the words to his music, surprisingly, there are still some that don't. But then again, words don't matter as long as you bop along to the music. You hunks of burning love. Along with his huge recording career, Elvis also starred in a number of movies, 33 in fact. A total of 77 Elvis impersonators sung Viva Las Vegas for over 3 minutes on these broken down escalators to establish a new Guinness World Record. They were all smiles when the song was over.
Well, today they've set a Guinness World Record for having the most Elvis impersonators singing in one location. As you can hear behind me, they had 77 Elvises all fully dressed with their wigs and their glasses and their singing voices, and it was great.
When it was done, they all happily left the building. See you next time on another Very Kooky Countdown.